It is always a sad thing when a Broadway show closes. There is a whole group of hardworking artists, both on stage and behind the scenes, who suddenly find themselves out of work through no fault of their own. And the latest casualty of Broadway closure is about to be Once Upon a One More Time on Broadway, a musical about Cinderella's feminist awakening set to the music of Britney Spears. Now, I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him, because to be completely honest, I thought the show was very flawed when I saw it. But no one sets out to make a bad show. And I believe there is something good to be found in every show you see. I mean, it's art. So today we're going to be counting down the 5 things I liked best about Once Upon a One More Time. In no particular order. Because I said so. Number 5, Jennifer Simard as the evil stepmother. And in particular, her rendition of Toxic. Put away your torches and pitchforks. I said in no particular order, okay? Jennifer Simard's performance as the evil stepmother was impeccable. Her comedic timing, rivaled. Her singing chops, we don't even need to talk about them because so good. I left the theater thinking, does she have a Tony in the bag already for next season? Maybe so.
Maybe it's not.
Enough cannot be said and will never be said about her performance in this show. This show should have continued running for this performance alone. Honorable mention for Adam Godley as the narrator and their little back and forth. So good. So good. Jennifer Simard straddles that line between threatening and hilarious at all points of the show, which is a difficult needle to thread when you're playing a comedic villain. While at so many points in the show, the evil stepmother is meant to be more of a comic relief villain, in the song Toxic, she takes a hard left turn. And it's honestly threatening and unsettling in the best of all possible ways. And speaking about amazing performers in this show, number 4, the incredible Aisha Jackson as Snow White. She blew me away in every single moment that she was on that stage. I truly hope that she's already booked and blessed, and that her next show gives her the leading lady spot that she truly deserves, because she stole this entire show. There were so many points where she was on stage, and I wanted more. I wanted more of her. Honestly, give me more, give me more, give me more. For anyone who doesn't know who Aisha Jackson is, she is a seasoned Broadway vet, having been in Beautiful, the Carole King musical, as well as being in the original Broadway cast of Frozen as standby for Anna and becoming the first Black woman to play that role on Broadway. She is incredibly talented, and I hope with everything in me that I get to see her on Broadway again very, very soon. Which leads me into number 3. Honestly, all of the princesses. All of them. For anyone who hasn't seen Once Upon a One More Time, despite the fact that Cinderella's the main princess, it takes place in like this liminal space where all of the fairy tale princesses are present together. They like have a book club. Well, scroll club. And every single one of the actors playing princesses were amazing. There was a core group of singing princesses, and then there were a few more princesses that were incredible dancers who filled out the princess ensemble. But all of them had their own distinct characters and personalities. Extra big shout outs go to Lauren Zachrin, who played The Little Mermaid, and Ashley Chu, who played Sleeping Beauty. I just thought they shone in those roles. With Lauren Zachrin as the Little Mermaid, she didn't speak because she lost her voice until the very end. It was so good. There were times when you could tell that she was lip syncing, and it was just so good. I also want to give another honorable mention moment to the 2 stepsisters, Amy Hilner Larson and Tess Soltau. I cracked up every time they were on stage.
Well, I think I'm looking forward to cracking up. I hope I can, totally crack up. So I haven't, totally cracked up in a long time.
And speaking of cracking up, Number 3, Justin Guarini as Prince Charming. Another person that I'm desperate to see on Broadway again, sooner rather than later. Justin Guarini. As someone who was a kid in the early 2000s, my first thought when I hear Justin Guarini up until now has been from Justin to Kelly. But from now on, I will always remember him as Prince Charming in Once Upon a One More Time because he was everything. The dancing, the singing, the acting, all there in spades. Once I Googled him, I realized he's been on Broadway a crap ton. He was even Fiero in Wicked in 2014. But I had no clue. Him and Aisha Jackson, we gotta get them back on Broadway ASAP. He had the perfect amount of charm and sleaze that was required for the character. And honestly, kind of made me feel for Prince Charming at certain points. And his dancing, don't even get me started. Which brings me to number 1. Now again, I didn't do this in any particular order. However, the choreo and musical staging of this show was so good. Truly an honor to Britney because her dancing has always been something incredible about her career. Specifically the performer playing Belle, every time she danced, my eyes were drawn to her. It was all so incredibly imaginative. They never took the easy way out. The dancing was also story-inspired, which is so important for a Broadway show. And one of my favorite parts, and I honestly think the entire audience the night I went, was when all of a sudden, in the middle of Oops, I Did It Again, they inserted the original choreo. It was everything. I can't dance. Don't ask me to do it. Once Upon a One More Time was a good time, and I am sorry to see it leave Broadway so soon. I wish it could have found its footing and allowed these amazing performers to keep sparkling, but the Marquee Theater is a notoriously hard one to stay open in. It wasn't a perfect show, but no show is. I'm so grateful I got to see this piece of art before it has to leave us. And I hope to see all of its performers back on Broadway very soon. Telling you, producers, I swear to God. And I'm sure this isn't the end for Once Upon a One More Time. It's got a long life ahead of it in tours, regional productions, maybe even a cruise ship production one day. But for now, Cinderella's gotta go. What do you think? Did you get to see Once Upon a One More Time on Broadway? What was your favorite part of the show? Let me know down in the comments below.
With the taste of your lips, I'm on a ride.
Whoa,
You're
I think I'm
toxic,
gonna be
I'm slipping
I hope I
under.
can totally crack up. So I haven't totally cracked up in a long time.
I'm addicted
So today we're going to be counting down the 5 things I liked best about Once Upon